Hello. Another issue of the Diary of the World Nomad Games is on Kazakh TV. We are in Cholpon-Ata, where the competitions in Kokpar, or Kok Boru as they call this sport in Kyrgyzstan, are held. Different names, but the rules are the same. Today we'll try to study all the subtleties of the most popular game among nomadic people. This is a competition for strength, agility, and endurance. The game is somewhat similar to a game of horseball, which popularity is growing in Europe. But in Kok Boru, collisions and blows are much tougher. And instead of the ball, players in Kokpar, like in antiquity, use the carcass of an animal. The history of the game originates from the time when Kazakhs led a nomadic way of life. Kokpar, or Kok Boru, in English, means grey wolf. Wolves were the worst enemy for the nomads, because they killed the cattle. To kill a predator was considered a great success. Such struggle with time has turned into a game. In the old days, the honor of an entire aul was at stake. Kok Boru competitions last 3 matches, 20 minutes each. The team consists of 10 Jigecs. At the time, 4 riders from each team play on the field. The main rules are: the player cannot be attacked when he lifts the carcass from the ground. Kokpar requires subtle and thoughtful tactics. The unity of the horse and the rider is one of the conditions for victory. There is no special breed of horses. Massiveness, sharpness, and intellect of the horse are important here. And the last fact is quite serious. If the horse is able to make decisions on its own, the rider stays firmer in the saddle. Such competitions as the World Nomad Games not only preserve the nomadic culture, but also bring the interest towards the national sports. 12 teams came to Cholpon-Ata. They were divided into 4 groups. Clear leaders, Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. The team matches are already taken for derby. Many fans expected to see both teams in the final. The group stage of the competition didn't have any sensations. The favorites confidently received their points. Kazakhs, despite disagreement with certain rules, came out on the field and at first without much difficulty played with the team of Krasnoyarsk and after with the United States team.
Мы хорошо готовились, очень. Хотим выиграть, но это нелегкая задача. Мы хотим выиграть. Посмотрим.
We prepared well. We want to win. We'll see. It's a sport. The mood is okay. The most dangerous rival for us is Kyrgyzstan. Everyone knows this. We are the best. They are too. It's like the match between Barcelona and Real Madrid. Chances are 50-50.
Мы тоже лучшие. Ну это как Барселона с Реал Мадридом. Кто-то выиграет, кто-то проиграет, как всегда. 50 на 50.
For the first time, the national team of France came to the competitions for the Kok Boru. And although the athletes did not have enough gaming experience, they bravely fought with rivals for the victory.
Это было просто, если я могу себе позволить, офигенно, конечно. Это был
It was cool, something from childhood. Just at the end of the game, we got a penalty. Local horses are very fast. We really enjoyed riding other horses.
Другое, как называется, воспитание лошади.
One of the brightest and most memorable teams in the nomadic games is the US team in Kokpar. Literally, a year ago, they had a federation on this sport, and now they're looking for the coach for their own team on the expanses of Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan.
I look at everyone as a rival of us. We don't want to be lower or less than anyone. We want to be right there with Kyrgyzstan, right there with Kazakhstan in these games. But you know, honestly, I mean, France, they've only, this is their first time.
What is the most difficult thing for you here?
Picking up the goat.
Yeah.
And catching the guy on the other team who has the goats.
Yeah.
They're very fast, they're very good, they know the technique, and they're amazing. These other countries, these players, I take my hat off to them. They're amazing sportsmen, and this is one of the hardest games I've ever played.
The game uses only the goat carcass. This takes into account the weight and strength of the skin. The carcass of a ram will not work. The skin of this animal cannot withstand such loads. The strongest teams on Kokpar are teams from Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan. Perhaps the game would be more popular in the world if not for the goat carcass. Its weight reaches 60 kilograms. Someone suggests to replace it with ordinary skin. But the descendants of nomads bring out the example of bullfighting and advocate for the preservation of traditions. Our sports equipment is our food. We eat it every time. Because the Kokpar is in itself a chop, we first cut it. We do it according to tradition. For example, did you try a kurdog from this meat? Try it. Never in your life will you forget this taste. The best chop. But our main goal is to make sports equipment, make special saddles.
Сделать специальные формы, сделать специальные седла.
Matches of the playoffs for Kok Boru became almost the most anticipated event at the Games. In the first semi-final, the Kokpar players from Kyrgyzstan did not experience a particular resistance from the Moscow team. The final score is 23-5 in favor of the hosts. The main surprise of the tournament was the defeat of the national team of Kazakhstan to the team of Uzbekistan. Our athletes were ahead several times. In the end of the fight, Kazakhs noticeably slowed down and opponents took advantage. Final score is 5-4, not in our favor. These horses were rented from Kyrgyzstan. When they came out against the Uzbek team, some of the horses were tired. This affected the final score of the meeting. It's very sad, but we will still fight for the medal. There was no great fight in the final. The team of Kyrgyzstan throughout the match looked more masterful. The Kokpar team of Uzbekistan earned only 9 points, while the hosts 32. Kazakhstan received bronze awards. In the consolation final, our Kokpar team defeated the Moscow team with a score 17-1. Contests on Kok Boru became the most visited at the Games of Nomads. High interest in them was not only among local residents. Many foreign tourists especially came to Cholpon-Ata for the sake of competitions in Kok Boru.
We're here for about a week and we really like the Nomad Games. I'm really curious about the Kok Boru game and the other sports.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Like, you can tell people stories that nobody in Austria has ever read about. Like especially Kok Boru, of course it's the most interesting. But also some other things like stunt riding and stuff like this.
Нам нужно объединиться. Объединиться, во-первых, и все свои амбиции.
We need to unite all our ambitions, adversities, confusion, and sit down at the round table and further develop the sport, make it more athletic.
Как бы более популяризировать, значит, сделать более спортивным. Есть виды спорта, которые даже играют очень хорошо, например, конное поло.
There are sports like horse polo. There are also team games. At some point, they were included in the program of the Olympic Games. We need to take something from their experience.
Программу Олимпийских игр. Поэтому нам тоже надо вот к ним обращаться.
The current games of nomads have shown that Kokpar or Kok Boru is gaining popularity not only in Central Asia. This kind of sport is tough and brutal. That's why it's so spectacular. The creation of a federation on Kokpar in the United States and the emergence of national teams of new countries are already seen as a small victory for all descendants of nomads.